Hey, what's up, world? I'm Kat Harvey, the host and the producer of The Kat Harvey Show. I'm so excited to have my favorite couple in the building. It's been way too long. I think their new plays are going to be like the Tyler Perry plays of D.C. They're going all over the country. They're husband and wife, married for, what, almost 20 years, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
19
Okay,
years.
awesome. Mr. and Mrs. Nelson, Pam and Gill Nelson, how you guys doing?
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
So, tell people a little about your individual stories.
Oh, well, my story is when I was young, I wanted to do hair. So I got into hair school. I graduated from hair school at 16, the same year I graduated from high school. So when I met my husband, he wanted me to own my own salon, which I never wanted to do. So I got into the hair business, and I've been owning a hair salon now for almost 20 years.
Okay.
Let's get some straight. She wasn't 16 when I
I didn't want to say nothing. I'm like, okay.
No, I didn't meet him at 16.
I've been in acting for a long time. I did it in college, but kind of got away from it. And then worked in marketing. I was the marketing director for Long Fence at Home for quite a few years. And decided that wasn't for me anymore. Got back into the entertainment side and got my wife involved, and the rest is history.
Oh my God. So were you guys young parents?
Well, I had my first child at 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got a son.
Yeah, we have a
also.
son.
Okay.
And actually I was 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so pretty early.
So for you guys, you guys had a great mindset from the beginning. And what do you have to say for those young parents who are out there that got young kids and they think that, the kids are going to stop everything they're trying to do? Like, how did you guys get through that process?
I got through because I had a great support system. I had my husband, I had my mom, he had his mom, we had surrounding family members. But for people who are alone and by themselves, it's help out here. So I feel like if you really want something, you can go out and get it. You just put your mind to it.
Yeah, I just think you definitely have to, in my case, I didn't want my children to go through what I went through as a child. So I wanted to make sure I focused on making sure they were okay in every aspect. So that was my focus anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does somebody get here? What does 19 years of the process, what does that look like?
Oh, well, he's like my best friend. I still love my husband, so that helps. And we get along really well, so. And when we argue, but we get over it. We argue and say, hey, when we going to eat, or what you want for dinner? You get through it and you move on. You can't just leave because you're mad. You got to stick it out, so.
Yeah, and my philosophy is, I very, very, very seldom say no to her about anything.
Wow.
So,
okay.
But I learned a long time ago, if you want a good marriage, happy marriage anyway, an argument or disagreement is just that. And it's nothing that we argue about or disagree with that I feel is that devastating that'll make us say that enough is enough.
Right.
So that's how I view it.
Yeah. So what about space? Is it important for people to have their space in the household? Somewhere where you can go to cool off versus, how people leave the house for days and all that other stuff. Okay. That's just what I've heard. I'm trying to take notes too.
I'm a guy that likes closure, so I can't be in the house with you and we're not talking. That doesn't work for me.
Wow, that's the first.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me. I like to, if something's bothering you, something's on your mind, let's talk about it and get it out of the way. We ain't got to go hang out that day, but I can't be in a house with somebody, especially my wife, and we walking past each other as if we're not there. And so I like to get closure to stuff. So it was a while before we got to that point, but that's my thing.
Yeah, marriage is it's hard, it's work, but it's worth it in the end, especially to be with somebody you want to be with for the rest of your life. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the money. A lot of people, regardless if they have money or don't have money, They say, marriage, I believe, is about finances. So what if somebody doesn't have any money coming into the situation, or what if somebody has it and they lose it, like vice versa? What are your thoughts about that?
Well,
I mean, both of us never really had a lot of money. I mean, we had our businesses, but for me, that was the focus. The focus wasn't never really the money. So I don't know if I can answer that, because that wasn't a big issue for me.
yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate enough to make money.
Right.
That's not been hard at all for either one of us. But it's never been about money. And none of the decisions been about money. So yeah, it's a big elephant in the room when people act like, yeah, they don't care about money. But yeah, I mean, money it matters.
It does.
But we don't focus on that. So, and we look at, whatever we got going on, it's both of ours. So regardless of how much it is,
Right.
and that's how we view it.
So how do you guys say no to the shiny stuff? Both of you guys are business owners. Both of you guys like nice things. So when do you balance saying no to the designer stuff? Like how important that is, for those entrepreneurs that are out there, they're going to have to make that decision if they don't, if they want to work for themselves for the rest of their life. Like how do you balance that?
What I do is I have like a spending account. Like I set things aside for things I want, because I really don't like to run up credit cards and things like that. So I'll try to, if it's something I want, I'll try to set aside for that, because I don't like to run a lot of bills up. For you, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's not really.
Yeah, I ain't really. I mean, I did so much when I was young.
Yeah, he doesn't spend a lot.
So we've done the, traveling, the cars, and all that stuff. Like, so that stuff doesn't matter to me anymore.
Yeah, we did it.
So,
we did so much of it when we were young.
Yeah, so
like now, for me, like if I get a new car, I'm over it in like 2 or 3 months. So yeah, it's a waste of money for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is nice to have, but at the end of the day, it don't even matter.
Yeah, as long as we got 4 wheels.
Okay.
Good gas. I'm good.
So what's the vision, for you guys? Both you guys are first of all individuals before you're married. So what are some big visions that you guys have for yourself?
Ooh. My vision, as of now, I would like for me and my husband to still be able to travel at least 4 times a year. But the big goal is for us to get our production company up and running to where, we'll have TV shows lined up, we'll have our plays lined up, and we'll have movies lined up.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the
that's
same,
big goal.
because the kid's grown now, so that ain't the focus anymore, thank God. But the production company is what we focusing on right now. I mean, we got a few other things going on, but the main thing is the production company. Right now, the play's been successful this far. Very excited about that, but now we progressing into television and other things, movies, but that's later.
Did it ever bother you guys, like having to actually sell, tickets? Because you got to sell some tickets to for it to come to fruition, so you got to keep paying out your pocket. Like, did that ever bother you guys? And trying to convince people, get your tickets.
Every year. It's like with selling the tickets, with us, it's like there's a slow spurt in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess they'll look and say, oh, they're not going to sell out. But like a month before, even if it's 2 weeks before, we sell out, and then it's like a line out the door for people trying to get in.
Wow.
So for the 4 years we've been doing the plays, we've sold out every year. But for some reason, people still wait till the last minute to get their ticket. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's DC. Sometimes, it's I take the good with the bad. So, some people get upset when people who they personally know may not support whatever they got going on. But I don't, because I know how to separate. Man, you can really be good friends, but your money is something else.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, I ain't mad at anybody for how they spend their money, even though I want the support.
Yeah.
But it's still your money.
Right.
And if you don't think this worthy of it, then okay, because we're gonna be okay regardless.
Yeah.
But
you're human, so you don't. I mean, especially now. I want to talk about the people, our friends who can go. I'm talking about people who have some money. They go to Macy's, they go to Forever 21, Gucci, whatever. Those people who have not been yet to your show. How do you feel about those? I'm sure you guys. Do you guys have any of those people? Like, how do you deal with
we got
that?
a lot of them.
got quite a few.
Well, I'm big on supporting people in the community. That's why when in the plays, I try my best. I try to wear designers that are local. We try to use local artists for all like some of the paintings on the wall and things like that. But I mean, like he said, you can't make people spend their money the way you want them to. So I feel a certain type of way about it though, because I feel like I support you. I would like for you to support me, but you don't always get that. So.
Yeah, it's
like you said, I'm human.
It's funny. I used to think about it, but when we're in production mode, I'm so focused on that that I can't even focus on them. And I don't be wanting that negative energy to enter my mind like that. But when you're doing, and I still consider it small theater, that the expectations are low. So they might want to come, but they thinking like this high school crap. Oh, it's gonna be there, no set, no.
Right.
That's what they thinking.
Yeah.
So
Until somebody tell them, oh nah,
And
this
they
was
see
something
pictures,
else.
yeah, right.
This wasn't that. And I get it, and I ain't upset with them because the ball already moving. The train done left the station. So as this thing grow and grow and grow, then when them phone calls come, my heart gonna say, come on.
Yeah,
But my mind would say, nah. But my heart gonna say, come on. So,
right.
At the end of the day, I know people had their reasons for doing whatever they doing. It used to kind of be on my mind, but not really bother me.
So what's the process like? People don't get to see the behind the scenes. Like, you guys got the pretty costumes and the nice big stage and the venue. What is the process like for somebody to put on a production? And what advice would you give people out there who want to have plays like yourself? What advice would you give them?
I would try to tell them to get with someone who's already doing it and kind of had them mentor them. Like when I was in Los Angeles, I was being mentored without her even knowing it because there's a playwright in LA that she's super successful. All her shows are really, they come out. People come out in droves. So I was able to work with her on quite a few productions. Okay. And really get to walk with her and watch everything she do from top to bottom. So that's how I learned. Okay. And but my advice would be get with somebody who's doing it, get on the internet, research it, look up stuff, do everything you can to try to get as much information as you can. So when you do decide to do it, you're ready, because it's a lot. When people walk in, they think it's simple, but it's not. It's a whole lot to do behind stage with the actors not being prepared, with, the theater itself, setting up the set, the whole nine. But other than that, it's great. Yeah. Is that you? Okay.
So what about you, Pam?
What?
What advice would you give? I mean, you're engrossed in it now. What do you see that people should? I mean, what do people not see that you have to do? That's not glamorous. Like
all they see is what they see on the day of the show. They don't see, the whole production side of it. All the rehearsals that we have to do, all the designing, the set we have to do, purchasing the furniture, and all the little knickknacks for the sets. Making sure everybody has enough mics, making sure all the scenes are in order, making sure the tickets get sold, making sure, the advertisement is out there. They don't see anything but what they see the day, of the show. And our productions aren't just, you come into and sit down and see the play. We have a whole, gala of things going on when you walk in.
Experience.
We have vending, we have bar, we have food passings, photography, red carpet. We have all type of things going on. So it's a lot of work. So for people who think they can just come in and put on a play, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I've been to quite a few. I've been to quite a few plays that I felt that they, you know, but my eye is different, so I can't even enjoy a movie anymore.
we can't even.
Because when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at
critiquing it.
too much, and I had to relax.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But you know, some stuff they just don't know, and because they look at, you know, like anything else, like somebody can look and think they can just do what you do because it looks simple, but they don't see all the details that go into making the stuff happen.
Right.
So, but I would say get with somebody who's doing it and learn it.
So as a married couple, how important is it for you guys to support each other's vision? And were you ever like not on board, and how'd you get through that?
So I've always been, always been a great supporter of me, and I've always been a great supporter of him.
Okay.
Even when he decided he wanted to move to LA, I was like, I'm not moving to LA. Like, my business is here. You know, I guess we'll be bi-coastal. You know, I love you. I want you to follow your dreams, but I'm not moving to LA. I just couldn't see myself moving to LA at that time, you know. And then he had already been like a real estate agent. He had already been like a manager or whatever for Lifestar. He had already been an EMT. I'm trying to think of everything. Oh, director of marketing. Then he was an EMT. Like, he had so many avenues of like, you were like Jamaican.
See the thing about it,
He was a hustler, right?
No,
So I'm like, but I supported him. But he's always supported me, and I feel like I didn't want to hold him back from going to LA because I knew he wanted to take the acting thing more serious, and everybody was telling him, you need to go to LA, you need to go to LA. Right. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he did it, and we were bi-coastal, you know, for like 5 years, and it was good because I got to go out there, especially when it was cold here, so it was perfect. I loved it. I'm not gonna say perfect, but it worked.
Yeah, you know, it was tough in the beginning because before I moved to LA, we had probably never been apart in like 2 weeks at the most.
Oh wow!
And
2 weeks.
Yeah,
probably.
like a week probably at the
maybe
most.
on a girls trip I went on or something.
In
But
18 or 17 years or so.
Yeah.
You know, so it was tough, but you know, at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's true.
And I'm glad I went because I learned a lot there in reference to the production side. The acting stuff is easy because I was already trained on that.
Yeah.
But the production side is why I really went to LA.
So what do you want your kids to learn from you guys?
You got to put in the work.
Yep.
You got to put in the work if you want something. And I talk to them all the time about that. And we try to lead by example. If we ain't examples enough of putting in the work, then you ain't gonna never get it. You know.
That's true.
You know, but Gill is a little more hard-headed than Demi. But Gill, he works hard, but he don't work smart. And like
It's a difference.
yeah, absolutely. Like I tell him all the time, like.
Yeah.
You got a lot of knowledge that you're not, that could be passed on to you that you're not really utilizing properly, in my opinion. And Demi the same way too. Like this is what we do. Like we've been entrepreneurs forever. And pick our brains if you want to know something. But like we was just talking yesterday, like we can't make them do whatever. We just give them the information. If they use it, they use it. If they don't, they don't.
So how do you guys deal with clients? You guys are entrepreneurs or people who say the price is too high.
In her business or the production side?
I mean, both of you guys. I'm sure people like, you know, that's too high.
Yeah, you do
like,
get that.
and how do you not take the I say the low approach and try to, you know, you try to maneuver people. Okay, you give me this, I get you in. You know, you don't want to do too much of that because you know it's gonna get around.
It's funny because I do hear that. I do hear that sometimes, and I hear that, and I chalk it up. I chalk it up as your expectations are low, so you don't think it's worthy of whatever the price it is, and really, at the end of the day, everybody who's went to the show, well, almost everybody, has said I would have paid more once they showed up. Like, this is too cheap, like for real. But it ain't about the money. It's about building a brand right now. So For the people who in doubt, it's funny, but I hear it. You know, they might not. Or even when I look in their face, when they like, give me 2 tickets, and I tell them the price, they pause. And they look at you for a second.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's still cheap. It's still really cheap.
And at the end of the day, they enjoy this.
Yeah.
And they
And
would
that's
be
what
like,
it's
I'm going
about.
to bring more people.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
So did it ever matter, you know, if your family didn't support you? Did that ever matter to you guys?
It does for me. Like, I'm about to cry now because we was just talking about this at the last flight. It bothered me this time.
You know, my thing is, I chalk it up. It's disappointing, but I can't I can't go there with it. Like, see, Pam, an actress in the play, and she is co-producing it, but I'm kind of like real hands-on with it. So when I'm focused on that, I can't focus on them.
Right.
You know, do I want them there? Yeah. And there's certain people I want to see when the curtains open up. I want to look out there and see them. But if I don't, I just got to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a you know, it's a progress. So
I can relate.
it's a progress. You know how it go.
Yeah, yeah,
But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just grateful for whomever there.
yeah. You
You
guys
know.
have done an amazing job because it's so funny. I was watching you guys for a long time. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna land the cut because you know how people, you know, everybody come to me. Can I come on? Can I interview? I'm like, nah, you ain't there yet. You know. So I was just landing. I said, I'm gonna have them, and I kept calling
Right.
my mom. I said, Mom, I swear, I said, I promise you guys, she would see you guys, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they probably think I'm dodging them, but I was just waiting
Yeah.
for the perfect time. And
Yeah.
what you guys have in your hands. I mean, I remember when Tyler Perry first started, and he came out and thanked everybody. And when I first came to you guys' play. I just saw it, you know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to keep going. It's just amazing. And then before we wrap up, everybody, did you ever guys feel like she was the one? Did you guys have that for each other? And if so, how did you know, like, this is it? And it wasn't just about looks. It wasn't about the fluff. Like, how
Right.
did you know?
Well, I knew he was the one because his love for me is, I know it's unconditional. Like he said, he never really tells me no, and if he do, it's because he has my best interest at heart. He's a family man, you know. He's a businessman. He's smart, but he chased me around the city for a while before we even went on a date.
Oh, wow.
So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he is really
It's a-
working at trying to take me
It's
out.
a real,
Right.
yeah, it's a real story. For real. Like, for real.
Yeah,
Aw.
it's funny.
Yeah.
'Cause-
It was-
and then when he first called me, I thought he was somebody else. He was like, do you know who you talking to? I was like, yeah, this such and such. I need a ride. Da, da, da. He was like, no, this is such as. I was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. So after that, I felt like we had to go out. So that night we went out on a date and we've been
Hold up, that's what it
together.
was? What?
Yeah, it was. And we've been together ever since.
Yeah.
We've been together
No,
ever since.
it's been yeah. Yeah, at the time when me and her got together, and once we started dating, I realized she had what I was looking for. Yeah, but we was together for like 6 years before we got married though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's a
yeah,
God-fearing man. He loves his family. So that works for
yeah,
me.
yeah. It's been okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what do people love most about you guys, you think?
Our union, I think.
Yeah,
And how we work together.
Yeah, I think people can see that it's real, you know. And it's tough working with people too that you're in a
Yeah,
relationship
and
with.
that's the thing. Like when one of the plays we did, one of the girls that was in the play, she came up to me and she said, "Oh my God," she said, "How y'all work so good together, and y'all are in love." I was like, "Yeah, we love each other, so
Yeah.
you know, it's easy when you in love, you know."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she couldn't believe it. She was like, "Y'all, I needed." She was the same way. I need to do a story on y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
I'm
now-
glad you guys came. I know you guys are kind of like in the cut about stuff. I was like, they're probably not gonna come.
Oh no. You know, you like my baby. I've been knowing your mother forever.
No, right. So can you tell people, you know, about upcoming projects, plays, where they can find and connect with you guys at?
Yeah, actually, we're actually filming now a TV series that's slated for one of the streaming services.
Okay.
Once it's done, and then we got some films that's next year, and then we'll probably do another play next year at the same time. But I can be reached on all the social media stuff. It's Gil Nelson. I don't change it. I make it real simple and easy to get to me. Yeah, that's it. I'm excited. Loyal and Trust is the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're working on now.
Okay.
Loyal and Trust.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. Real exciting time.
Okay. Well, what can they find you at?
Well, my website is under construction, but you can find me in Pam Nelson. All the social media outlets as well.
Okay. Well, I thank you so, guys, for coming to my show. I truly appreciate it. I didn't mean to make you tear up. I'm like, oh,
And you know it's so easy
know,
for me.
right?
Why would you do that? No, it's fine.
But I truly appreciate you guys. You know, I think time is the one thing you can never get back, and so
Yeah,
I definitely
absolutely.
appreciate you guys and being patient with me and sharing your stories. So
Yeah.
I know you guys got tons of value. You guys stay tuned and definitely watch out for their plays.